Hey everybody, 3KO Games here. Thanks for tuning into the channel today. We're going to take a look at some costumes in Untold Tales 2. We've seen Untold Tales 1 costumes already. Seems really recent. Too recent to be throwing out costumes here, but let's jump in because Regin and Ott both have costumes. Let's take a look and see how they've changed, if at all, and talk about it. So, Regin, we know Regin is excellent. The original costume dispels buffs from a target and nearby, gives a firestorm strike up to 2,000 damage to those three, 40% more damage if the target is of nature element. It never misses. And then the target and nearby enemies are immune to new status effect buffs for 3 turns. Remember all those stats, because we'll take a look at it over here. Also dispels buffs from 3. Firestorm Strike up to 2220 damage. So increasing that line a little bit. The up to, remember, is not the starting. So without Growth and Wither, if you don't take any Growth Wither heroes, she's going to hit for 1110, and here she's going to hit for 1,000. Still 40% more against nature, still immune to new status effect buffs for 3 turns. All right. Checking over on the left side here with the passive, 450 when you try to burn her, 5% mana when they resist, 494 burn. That's with double limit break here. 494 burn, 12% defense down. Let's check this. Ooh, okay, they are gaining more HP when you try to give them burn and gaining more mana when they resist. That's nice. And a little bit more corrosive burn, 545, and an extra percentage of defense down. All right, then we've got, of course, just our costume bonus to look at. It's not that much because they're so recent. 7795. This is not the kind of costume bonus that they've given to the Dunes families or something like that, where they're just really bulking them up to make them stats relevant again. It's at 1245 team power, which is right on pace now with the latest heroes when you have this costume. Before we go to Ott, let's just talk about this, because my prediction is Ott is basically the same. A couple months ago, Small Giant started buffing recent-ish heroes and just saying, you know what? These are recent enough. We're still throwing them in Covenant Summon. We're still throwing them in Wilderness. They can still be part of the meta. Let's keep them part of the meta and give them some stats bonuses. And of course, they were forgetting about all the old, like Underwild or Valhalla or Season 2 Atlantis heroes. But most of the newer families were getting bonuses, and people were a little upset about it, but really others understood that, okay, the latest heroes, the ones that are really in the meta, let's keep them in the meta. And I kind of understood that. But now we're saying that with these heroes, and the problem is we do this Firestorm Strike with a flat fee, right? With a flat number of damage. It can go up and down because of Growth and Wither, but it's not a percentage. So over time, Regin is just not going to be as good. So instead of changing something to a percentage damage, it's just, you have to pull her again. You have to get a costume. You got to get a brand new hero. I just don't like the way that they're dealing with this, quite honestly. If they want, I would like to see some consistency in this. So if you're going to say, like, hey, these newer families, yeah, let's just keep buffing them so they stay kind of relevant. I get it, because Regin is still a very relevant hero. Sometimes even used on defense. Now she can still be used on defense, even in upper level teams. But now just making us get a new hero, get a new costume, have the luck to actually pull something new. Yes, I know it's all about making a profit and everything, but I wish they hadn't gone this route with the Untold Tales 1 heroes, or the early Untold Tales 2 heroes, the Nidavellir realm, because you know that they're not going to get another buff now. They're just going to be buffed by their costume bonuses. These slight stats increases here with the costume are pretty nice. A little higher Firestorm Strike. We get a little bit more burn damage. We get a little bit more boosted health. All that stuff. If you land Regin and her costume, I mean, you landed an awesome hero. So I'm not saying any of this because I'm disappointed in the hero you're going to end up with. No, on the other hand, really, like, she's excellent. Super congratulations. I'm just a little disappointed in the way that SG's dealing with this right now, just by releasing costumes, I think, prematurely. They were due for another round of buffs or something like that before we just said, let's keep them relevant by making people pull them again. Yeah. Ott, I assume, is going to be the same situation. Yeah, so it's boosts health of all allies by 600. That's now 800, right? And then in another 6 months, he's not going to be as relevant because we haven't done a percentage heal. If you just do a percentage heal, then he can stay relevant. But when you just do that flat number, you're going to need to buff. You're going to need a second round of costumes in 6 months when 800 is just not as much. Firestorm Ward reduces special skill damage up to 1280, was 1100, but the 30% against nature stays, and immune to buffed spells for 3 turns, that stays. Again, costume bonus, it's not much. It's just putting him back in the meta, which, I mean, he's a great hero, for sure. Congratulations if you have the original, and super congratulations if you get this costume. It was 450 and 5%, and now it's 610%. Yeah. 354 on the corrosive burn. It was 326. So they're dealing with it the same way. There's no real change to and now his costume does this. They're just making the stats a little bit more relevant, which they could have done nicely by just saying, hey, everybody, here's a round of buffs. Oh, well. So, if you're looking for a difference, if you have the costume, you should just use the costume because the costume's better. He stays a monk, which is nice. We go from a regen ether talent to a boosted regen ether talent. I mean, it's there's almost no difference. She stays a rogue. Okay, she gets a much better ether talent from counterattack to ailment immunity. That is a much better ether talent. But anyway, here are my thoughts. Oh, we've got costumes for Fjalar and Helgi. I haven't leveled up either of these guys. It's going to be the same situation, right? Firestorm Strike was 1180, was 1080, but everything else about this is the same. And here for Helgi, it was 130 to 8 random enemies. Duration of buffs is reset, and now it's 150. So hey, tell me what you think about these costumes, and really about the process. Am I overreacting to this? I just don't like the process of these costumes right now. Let me know if you have some luck with some pulls, because obviously, yes, they're fantastic heroes. Congratulations if you pulled them. I have a chest full, so that might mean I actually get a pull here. Let's see, 150? And rings. That's excellent. because I am low on rings and I have to level up Garterid. So I'll get a little closer. Well, let's claim that, and then let's do one pull here and get one of these costumes. Red or green? Blue. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Thanks for checking out the video today, everybody. We'll see you next time.